The silver spacecraft hummed softly as it descended through Earth's atmosphere, its sleek contours cutting through clouds with calculated precision. Inside, June Park adjusted his monitoring devices, his multiple sensory organs tingling with professional anticipation. This was not his first diplomatic mission, but something about this assignment felt different. Earth looked deceptively ordinary from orbit, a blue-green marble spinning silently against the vast darkness of space. June had reviewed countless reports, diplomatic logs, and scientific assessments about humans. They were considered a relatively young species, technologically primitive, emotionally volatile. Standard classification: emerging civilization, minimal galactic threat. The landing site was carefully selected, a quiet suburban area outside Seoul, South Korea. Typical middle-class neighborhood, average population density, representative of modern human settlement. June's mission was straightforward: observe, document, assess potential diplomatic engagement. As the spacecraft's cloaking technology activated, rendering it invisible to human detection systems, June prepared his primary observation equipment. Holographic projectors would allow him to blend seamlessly, appearing as a standard human male if any unexpected interactions occurred. The first hour of observation revealed surprising complexity. A young woman named Hyun Kim emerged from her apartment, simultaneously managing 3 separate communication devices. She spoke into a small wireless earpiece, typed rapidly on a smartphone, and carried a meticulously prepared lunch container, all while walking with remarkable multitasking efficiency. June's initial data streams began registering unexpected patterns. The human's cognitive processing speed, her ability to context switch between multiple communication channels, and her precise movement coordination were significantly more advanced than preliminary reports suggested. A delivery worker navigated the street with equal precision, weaving through urban infrastructure with an almost mathematical understanding of spatial relationships. His electric scooter moved with calculated efficiency, avoiding obstacles with split-second adjustments that would require advanced computational processing in most known galactic species. Children playing nearby demonstrated another fascinating behavior. Their social interactions were complex, with unspoken communication protocols, instant conflict resolution, and collaborative problem-solving that seemed instinctive. They negotiated game rules, managed emotional dynamics, and maintained group cohesion with a sophistication that contradicted standard xenobiological assessments. June's recording devices captured every minute detail: temperature variations, sound frequencies, electromagnetic emissions. Everything was meticulously logged. But something was emerging that couldn't be quantified by standard metrics: an ineffable quality of adaptability. A sudden, unexpected event provided profound insight. A minor traffic disruption occurred when a delivery truck momentarily blocked the street. Instead of chaos, June witnessed a spontaneous, cooperative response. Drivers adjusted routes, pedestrians found alternative paths, and the entire urban ecosystem seemed to breathe and readjust without explicit communication. This was not just coordination. This was a living, responsive system, with emergent intelligence that transcended individual components. Humans, it seemed, were not just individuals, but part of a complex, adaptive network. As afternoon progressed, June's initial assessment began shifting. The reports he had studied seemed woefully inadequate. These were not just biological entities surviving in an environment. They were dynamic, creative problem solvers with a remarkable capacity for innovation and resilience. A group of workers exiting an office building further complicated his understanding. They discussed complex technological challenges, laughed, offered emotional support, and demonstrated a level of collaborative intelligence that would be considered advanced even among more developed galactic civilizations. By sunset, June's preliminary report was taking a dramatically different tone. The carefully prepared diplomatic assessment he had planned was being rewritten in real time. His professional objectivity challenged by continuous evidence of human potential. Something extraordinary was happening. And June Park was beginning to realize that everything his civilization believed about humans was fundamentally incorrect. The observation continued, each passing moment revealing layers of complexity that would challenge the very foundations of galactic diplomatic understanding. Humans were not what the reports described. They were something else entirely, something potentially extraordinary. Siak Lee's day began before sunrise, a carefully choreographed dance of modern urban survival. The small apartment hummed with subtle electronic life. A smart coffee maker gurgled to life, synchronized with an alarm that gently increased in volume designed to wake without shocking the human nervous system. 3 alarms. Not 1, but 3. Each strategically placed to ensure absolute awakening. The first whispered soft music, the second spoke time and weather updates, and the third, a more aggressive tone, would sound if the previous 2 failed to prompt movement. June Park, still in his observational mode, watched with growing fascination. This was not mere waking. This was a systematic approach to consciousness transition that suggested deep understanding of human neurological patterns. Siak's hand moved with practiced precision. Before fully opening eyes, he checked multiple communication devices. Smartphone displayed work messages, smartwatch tracked sleep quality. Another screen showed global news headlines, all consumed in less than 2 minutes, information processed with remarkable efficiency. The coffee machine completed its brewing cycle. Not just coffee, a precisely measured, temperature-controlled beverage that seemed more like a scientific experiment than a morning drink. Beans ground moments before brewing, water heated to exact temperature, brewing time calculated for optimal flavor extraction. Breakfast preparation was equally methodical. A small electric cooker activated, preparing a balanced meal that combined protein, complex carbohydrates, and essential nutrients. Simultaneously, workout clothes were selected, gym bag packed, lunch prepared in compartmentalized containers. June's recording devices struggled to capture the complexity. This was not random activity. This was a highly optimized human operating system, each action deliberately designed for maximum efficiency and minimal energy waste. The bathroom routine revealed another layer of fascinating behavior. Skincare products applied with scientific precision, dental hygiene completed using advanced electronic tools, body grooming that seemed more like a technical maintenance procedure than a personal care ritual. Clothing selection was not random fashion choice, but a calculated decision. Materials chosen for temperature regulation, professional appearance, and potential day's activities. Each piece seemed to serve multiple functional purposes: a jacket that could transform, shoes designed for multiple environments. June noticed something extraordinary. Despite this intense morning preparation, Suk maintained a calm demeanor. No visible stress, no rushed movements. Each action felt deliberate, almost meditative. This was not mechanical behavior, but a harmonious human performance. The apartment itself was another marvel of efficiency. Compact yet organized, every item had a specific place and purpose. Technology integrated seamlessly, automated temperature control, voice-activated systems, smart storage solutions that maximized limited urban living space. As Siak prepared to leave, a final check of multiple systems occurred. Home security activated, work documents synchronized across devices, transportation app calculated optimal route, wireless earbuds connected to multiple communication channels. June's initial hypothesis about human morning routines was completely dismantled. This was not just a wake-up process. This was a complex, technology-integrated survival strategy that combined biological needs with technological optimization. The door closed. Seok Lee disappeared into the urban landscape, another seemingly ordinary human beginning another seemingly ordinary day. But June knew better now. There was nothing ordinary about this species. Their morning routine alone was a testament to an extraordinary adaptive capacity that defied standard galactic classification. Humans were not just surviving. They were deliberately, systematically evolving with each passing moment. As the apartment went silent, automated systems continued their quiet dance. Cleaning robots activated, ambient temperature adjusted, power consumption optimized, a living space that continued functioning even in human absence. June's recording devices continued capturing data, but he knew traditional analysis would fail. These humans were writing entirely new rules of existence, blending biological intelligence with technological integration in ways no galactic civilization had ever achieved. Something profound was happening. And it had started with a simple morning routine. The technology startup buzzed with an energy that defied traditional workplace expectations. Siok Lee walked into an environment that looked more like a creative playground than a traditional office. Open spaces, collaborative zones, walls covered with dynamic digital screens and hand-drawn idea maps. June Park's observation systems were working overtime. This was not a simple work environment. It was a living, breathing ecosystem of human interaction and innovation. Within moments of arriving, Siok was pulled into a problem-solving meeting. What appeared chaotic to an outside observer was actually a highly sophisticated communication dance. Team members from different departments spoke simultaneously, ideas bouncing like lightning between minds. No single person dominated. Instead, a collective intelligence emerged. A product design challenge required input from engineering, marketing, and user experience teams. Instead of rigid hierarchical communication, the group moved like a single organism. Someone would start a thought, another would complete it, a third would challenge and refine it. No egos, no territorial boundaries. June noticed something remarkable. When conflicts arose, they were not suppressed but transformed. A heated discussion about design approach didn't create tension. It created solution pathways. Team members used something beyond logical reasoning. They used empathy, understanding, collective intelligence. A young woman named Ji-un presented a complex data analysis. Her presentation was not a monotonous report, but a storytelling experience. Technical information wrapped in human context, making complex concepts immediately understandable. The room didn't just listen. They engaged, questioned, collaborated. Unexpected challenge emerged when a critical project faced a potential setback. Instead of blame or panic, the team conducted what seemed like a real-time problem-solving ritual. Everyone contributed. The junior programmer suggested a radical solution. The senior manager listened without judgment. Technology was not just a tool here. It was an extension of human creativity. Augmented reality screens, AI-assisted design tools, machine learning algorithms, all seamlessly integrated into human workflow. The boundary between human and technological intelligence blurred completely. Lunch break revealed another layer of workplace dynamics. It wasn't just eating. It was a social reconstruction, a ritual of community building. Conversations flowed between work challenges, personal stories, global perspectives. Complex professional relationships were built not through formal interactions but through genuine human connection. Siok moved between different project zones with remarkable fluidity. One moment solving a technical challenge, next moment providing emotional support to a team member facing personal stress. Professional roles were not rigid boxes but flexible, adaptive states. An unexpected client communication demonstrated another fascinating human skill. When a potentially difficult conversation arose, the team didn't prepare defensive strategies. They prepared understanding strategies. How to listen, how to transform a potential conflict into a collaborative opportunity. The afternoon saw a sudden technology failure. In many organizations, this would cause panic. Here it became a collective problem-solving exercise. People with different skills instantly self-organized. No management instruction needed. Pure, spontaneous collaboration. June's recording systems were overwhelmed. Traditional metrics of productivity, efficiency, and workplace performance were completely inadequate to describe what was happening. This was not work. This was a living, breathing demonstration of human potential. As evening approached, the team didn't seem exhausted. They seemed energized. Not by external motivation, but by the pure joy of creation, of solving complex challenges together, laughter mixed with serious discussion, personal connections intertwined with professional goals. The startup wasn't just developing a product, it was continuously reinventing human potential. Each interaction, each moment was an opportunity for growth, for transformation, for pushing beyond known boundaries. Siak Lee represented something more than an individual worker. He was a node in a complex adaptive human network, capable of receiving, processing, transforming, and creating information in ways that defied standard organizational models. As darkness fell and most team members prepared to leave, June Park's fundamental understanding of workplace dynamics had been completely transformed. Humans were not just working, they were continuously evolving, creating, connecting, and this was just one small team, in one small office, in one small part of their planet. The evening gathering looked ordinary from a distance, a group of friends and colleagues meeting at a local restaurant, soft music playing, warm lights creating an intimate atmosphere. But June Park knew nothing about humans was truly ordinary. Hyun Kim arrived first, greeting the restaurant staff with genuine warmth. Not a formal interaction, but a connection. She knew the server's name, asked about his recent university exam, remembered details from previous conversations. This was not just politeness. This was a complex social mapping that humans seemed to perform effortlessly. Siak and Yuna entered, together their body language revealing layers of unspoken communication. A subtle touch, a shared glance, a synchronized laugh, an entire conversation happening without words. June's advanced sensory systems struggled to decode the intricate human social protocol. The table became a microcosm of human interaction. No single conversation dominated. Multiple discussions overlapped. Topics shifted rapidly. Emotional tones changed like quantum states. Someone discussed a challenging work project. Another shared a personal relationship story. A third debated global political trends. Conflict emerged momentarily when two colleagues disagreed about a technical approach. But instead of creating tension, the disagreement transformed into a collaborative exploration. They listened, challenged, respected. No ego, no winner-loser dynamic, pure intellectual dance. Humor played a critical role. Jokes were not simple entertainment but complex social bonding mechanisms. A story about a workplace mishap became a shared emotional experience. Laughter was a language, a way of processing complex emotions, of building group resilience. Yuna shared a personal challenge, a difficult family situation. The group's response was immediate and multifaceted. Some offered practical advice, others provided emotional support. One friend simply listened, offering silent understanding. No solution was forced. Emotional support was the primary goal. Technology integrated seamlessly into their social interaction. Smartphones were not barriers but connection tools. Photos shared, memories documented, global friends included through video calls. The physical and digital spaces merged without conscious effort. Food became more than nutrition. It was a social ritual, a way of sharing culture, expressing care. Each person tasted from different plates, recommended dishes, discussed cooking techniques. Eating was a collective, communicative experience. Cultural complexity emerged naturally. Personal stories revealed layers of human experience, immigration histories, family traditions, individual struggles and triumphs. Each narrative was respected, explored, celebrated. An unexpected moment captured human complexity perfectly. A colleague received a work-related stress message. Instead of individual panic, the group instantly transformed into a support network. Advice offered, emotional weight shared, practical solutions discussed. Age seemed irrelevant. A young intern and a senior manager conversed with equal respect. Hierarchical boundaries dissolved in genuine human connection. Experience was valued but not as a power mechanism, as a shared learning opportunity. Music played softly, creating an emotional backdrop. Someone started humming. Others joined spontaneously. A simple melody became a collective expression, bridging individual experiences into a shared moment. As night progressed, the group's energy didn't diminish. If anything, it intensified. Complex discussions about personal growth, global challenges. Individual dreams flowed naturally. No topic was too personal, no perspective dismissed. June observed something profound. This was not just a social gathering. This was a living, breathing demonstration of human collective intelligence. Each individual contributed to a larger, more complex emotional and intellectual ecosystem. Technology, emotions, professional experiences, personal stories, all merged into a seamless, dynamic interaction. No rigid boundaries, no fixed roles. Pure adaptive human connection. As they prepared to leave, hugs, promises to connect soon, genuine care expressed. Not formal goodbyes, but continuation of an ongoing human narrative. Each interaction a thread in a larger, complex social fabric. June's recording systems were overwhelmed. Traditional social analysis models collapsed. Humans were not just individuals. They were interconnected, adaptive, emotionally intelligent networks. And this was just one small group, in one small moment, in one small part of their world. The Galactic Council chamber was silent as June Park's transmission began. His tentacles trembled, a clear sign of extreme distress among his species. The holographic display flickered with unprecedented emotional data. Distinguished council members, his voice cracked. Our fundamental understanding of humans is catastrophically incorrect. Decades of diplomatic preparation, centuries of interstellar observation protocols, collapsed in 7 days of human study. June's medical monitors showed critical stress levels. His physiological systems were literally struggling to process what he had witnessed. The preliminary report began with basic observations. Humans appeared physically weak. No natural defensive mechanisms like armored skin, limited sensory ranges, vulnerable biological structures. Classic indicators of a species marked for potential galactic assimilation. But everything changed during observation. Humans didn't just survive. They transformed challenges into opportunities with terrifying efficiency. Their technological adaptation rate defied all known evolutionary models. Where other species would struggle, humans innovated. Where conflict emerged, they created collaborative solutions. June described workplace dynamics that resembled living neural networks. Professional environments where hierarchy dissolved, where collective intelligence emerged spontaneously. Teams that functioned more like organic supercomputers than traditional work groups. Social interactions revealed another layer of complexity. Emotional intelligence that functioned like advanced quantum computing. Humans processed complex emotional data faster than most AI systems. They transformed potential conflicts into collaborative opportunities with remarkable speed. The most shocking revelation? Their survival wasn't about physical strength. It was about adaptive intelligence, a species that could transform personal limitations into collective advantages, a network-based intelligence that functioned beyond individual capabilities. Our invasion strategies are obsolete, June stated, his voice breaking. Conventional warfare becomes meaningless against a species that can turn conflict into innovation. He described morning routines that were essentially complex survival algorithms, workplace interactions that resembled living, breathing intelligent systems, social dynamics that could potentially reprogram entire cultural structures through pure communicative capacity. The council members listened in stunned silence. Millennia of galactic diplomatic protocols were being dismantled by one observer's report. Technological adaptation was just the beginning. Humans demonstrated an ability to integrate technology, emotion, and collective intelligence in ways no known species had achieved. Their smartphones were not just communication devices. They were extensions of collective human consciousness. June's final recommendation shocked everyone. Classification, extreme caution, do not engage, potential existential threat. Not because humans were militarily powerful, but because they represented an entirely new model of evolutionary intelligence, a species that could potentially restructure entire galactic communication models through sheer adaptive capacity. His medical readings showed critical stress. The very act of comprehending human complexity was causing physiological breakdown. Traditional diplomatic training had not prepared any observer for this level of systemic complexity. "They are not a species," June whispered. "They are a living, adaptive, transformative network." The transmission ended. Silence filled the council chamber. Somewhere on Earth, humans continued their ordinary lives, completely unaware how close they had come to potential galactic conflict. A delivery worker navigated city streets. A startup team solved complex challenges. Friends shared a meal. Just another day on a planet that held potential far beyond any known galactic understanding. June Park's medical report would become legendary. The day an entire diplomatic perspective collapsed, observed through the lens of one human's morning routine. The Galactic Council would debate his findings for generations. Humans would continue doing what they always did: survive, adapt, transform.